I happened to just complete my research. I just got my PhD in Maritime Education training of the past, the present and the future of autonomous ships.
Sir, you also told me about something known as the AR, VR, which I think you are developing. What is that, sir? What's happening there?
So virtual reality is something where you have the real world where you can get into and you can work on it. And in augmented reality, in simple words, you get a world with you completely. But you could walk through, see every part of a ship, what it is, where it is. You have a ship in front of you. Basically, you can hold in your hand, you can go to any part of it. The person sitting here can give a guidance to the chief engineer or somebody how to open box up at the same time at 3 different places. He could do it.
What do you think are the cadets lacking at? What are some of the best courses right now you recommend which you should pursue if you're really serious in getting into sailing? Welcome back to the KSN show. Today's episode we have the CEO and founder of one of the biggest maritime institutes in India, HIMT, Dr. Sanjeev Vakil. If you'll watch the video fully, we have covered points from automation in maritime shipping to artificial intelligence, AR, VR in maritime training, as well as the best ways to join the merchant navy. Lots of insights, lots of learning, especially for aspirants who are in class 12th. Stick to the video. Presenting to you, Dr. Sanjeev Vakil. Dr. Sanjeev, sir, welcome to the KSN show, sir. First of all, thank you for taking out time. And secondly, sir, I have really admired the way you have got up to that particular level and established a firm foundation of your institute. We'll come to that, sir. First, sir, how are you feeling?
Thanks, Karan. Thanks for inviting me for this particular podcast. And certainly, it's been great again meeting you up after a few months. Certainly, we are quite glad that I've seen your post and all what you're doing. Great.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. So, I was thinking while I was inviting you, you now head a Maritime Institute. I wanted to ask from your experience, sir, when did you start your studies, sir?
I started by engineering. I completed in 1990.
Okay. So, 1990 and 2024, almost 34 years, if I'm not wrong. So, 34 years of your experience, what has changed, sir, from your education, your time till now? How has it been? Is it for the better or has it become little...
100% for the betterment. I think the world is always going towards betterment only. So for sure it's for betterment.
Okay. And did you always want to join the Merchant Navy?
Never I dreamt of Merchant Navy at all.
Okay.
So even in my college, nothing... I was just applying to US as any engineering college student would do.
Right.
And when I was in third year itself, I started doing that. And finally, I did get something on from 2 universities from US. I did get admissions and parallelly cutting the newspapers and then seeing anything in shore also we get across here. So did apply and didn't know what it is also. And my dad used to help me out and had this particular company called Downward Carriers.
Okay.
So where I applied across.
So you did pre-C or you didn't have to do pre-C at that time?
No, yeah. So ultimately at that given time, that was the first interview which I went to and got selected. So I thought, okay, rather than going to US, being ashore and at home, frequently as compared to US, you go 2-3 years you're there and maybe you settle down there.
Right.
So since I wanted to be back at India, so yes, I did settle down here and then did my pre-C.
Okay.
So I was sponsored by this company, the Downward Carriers, for 1 year at Garden Shipbuilders in Calcutta.
Okay, so Calcutta, okay, from Calcutta.
Yeah.
So how was your first time experience stepping on the ship?
Yeah, it's like anybody, okay, it's certainly an excitement which everybody has. So, but then that given time, we had a luxury of 3 cadets, 3 engineering cadets, which probably is not the case today by all the companies. So it was good. I think since mentally I was prepared to go to sea. And, in that 1 year of training, yes, having been away from home for 1 year at Calcutta for the training.
Right.
So mentally I was prepared.
You know why I asked you this question? Because from the maritime training which you do,
on the ship, I think there's a total 180 degrees sometimes when it comes. So for me also, for the first time when I did go to the bridge, like I have studied so much. Yahan pe it's a little different than how it will work. So coming to that point, sir, how are the institutes now in general in India trying to bridge that gap, sir, between education and real-time experience?
It's slightly getting better now. The bridging of gaps are narrowing down as compared to what vast difference we had in the past. So with technology coming in and it's been helping to probably shoot WhatsApp and everything. You could see the ship sitting at home if somebody wants to, which earlier you didn't have internet. You had to find out the ship which you're going, how it's going to be. But then the world of internet came, and now the world of your WhatsApp and FaceTime, everything is there. So you might go speak to your reliever, and you can also see whether the vessel, how the vessel is, and speak to them before you go.
Right, sir. Right. So, sir, in your have you had a tough experience on board which actually changed you, something which you still recollect from your sailing days? Any
tough experience in the sense, the only tough experience was by chief engineer to say don't work so much. I used to, when I went to sea, in fact I determined that okay, I should climb the ladder fast. So though the working hours, as I told, 3 cadets were there, but I wanted to work more and more, and then I used to get a warning. Generally, it's the other way around, where the chief officer or the second engineer says you come and work.
Yes.
But then I wanted to spend more time so that I can learn more. But I used to sometimes get my second engineer to say the chief engineer, and the chief engineer was kind enough, and he was saying that I wanted to go and take rest and then come across. But then ours is so enjoyable. There has not been, I would say, tough moments. I would not say. They have been there. Every day is a challenge, and every day I would like to learn one new job. Without that, rather, I think the day is not over.
Right.
So I have never. I don't think that anything is tough.
I think while you were saying this, just something I recollected. This spirit of yours, sir, is something which has actually helped also you to grow to such a prestigious position. I think lot to take away from that, sir. Any particular incident which happened on board, something like fire or something, some typhoon you got stuck into, something?
Many things have happened. Fire, and you have also had, because globally we keep moving across, crossing the Gibraltar and various other things. So
Right.
we have had also, we did have incidents like one of my vessel of our company where every 2 hours the engine used to stop. And then you need to go down running and then make the engine run because, it was a nightmare. So, every ship has its own problems. But then this was one vessel which would stop for no reasons. It took almost 8-10 days for us to find out also what it was. And finally, it was the fuel quality. So
Right. Okay. So it was regarding to the outside thing which is coming in rather than the inside engine.
Yeah.
Right, sir. So how was it, sir, taking command as a chief engineer on the first time?
First time, very good. That's a fantastic question.
Yes.
I just cleared my chiefs. And finally, my wife has always been supportive. She's been traveling with me right from my time when I was a second engineer. And I cleared my chiefs, and immediately I got a call. In next 3 months, not 3 months, almost 1.5 months, I got a call from one of the shipping companies, Sanmar. And they told you, please join us. And then being first time, you'll be taken as second engineer only, though you have chief's ticket. And we'll promote you after few months. I was reluctant. I told I have a small kid of just 3 months. How do I go now? So the gentleman there, Mr. K. Shankar, he told, no problem. We are going to be more on the coast. You'll go into Dubai and other places, etc. Not too far. So I took it a chance, and then I told, let me join as second engineer. But there's the first time I missed a flight. From home I started and missed a flight.
Yeah.
I went to the airport and I missed a flight.
Yes.
I told the company, sorry, I missed a flight. I couldn't make it. The company said, go back home. We'll see. And the same day evening,
Yes.
I got a call from the company. We are going to send you as a chief engineer now.
So that missing flight was
Missing flight was certainly a good thing. God had already planned up everything for me.
Right, sir.
And sometimes we curse why this happened, that happened. But I think anything even wrong which happens,
Right, sir.
it's always for good. and God had already decided that, okay, so that was my first vessel. After chiefs, immediately I joined as a chief engineer, and that ship I in fact sailed for 11 months. I sailed across as chiefs. It was a good experience. In fact, okay, my son started growing there. Kirtan just started growing there from 3 months. Yeah, 3 months. 3 months I could take him. That was something which was good.
Yes.
So,
Right, sir. So because why now the family sailing time has also reduced significantly, and coming to that point, so how has shipping changed? Like in regards to this, like 11 months was still manageable that time. At this time, even 6 months sometimes, being very honest, is very tough because hardly any shoulders because the turnaround times, more of a economic based approach now, finances and business. So from your time to now time, what is the significant changes which you also observed from your days of sailings?
okay, going back, one is the contract. Short contracts have come in, and short contracts have come just because of many other external factors. You didn't have at that given time MLC, you didn't have these issues of shore leave, etc. So a person could keep sailing, and okay, with a family when you sail, okay, you go out, and the port stays were longer. But now things have changed, and then the companies also have, most of the companies do have specialized training in between every contracts you have. You have requirements of SIRE, you have requirements, other regulatory requirements which you have. So contracts have become shorter, no doubt about it. But at the same time, on the other side, everything has a plus and minus. There you could sail for longer, and so you could complete your sea time faster, and that's how I could complete in between 91 to 96 I sailed, and I was a chief engineer in 5 years.
Wow.
So that was something which today it is going to be difficult because again, you'll do 4 miles, at least 2 months off or 3 months off, whatever you'll do. So one way it was advantages at that given time. People used to complete even, okay, my seniors used to complete, they say you should complete 18 months together. But then, okay, then everything has a plus and minus. But today's, I think, and today you get more experience in going to different ships. Basically, you do 4 months on and then go.
Right.
The company also has a bit bigger fleet. They like to try it out. You could go for different vessels as well and get your experience more.
Wonderful. So 5 years you became a chief engineer. That's like, that was our dream in our college, that we'll become captain in 5 years. But then reality is different, like you mentioned. All right, sir. So, sir, particularly I wanted to discuss this topic with you. Since you see so many cadets every year, what do you think are the cadets lacking at right now? And what are the things which are they are good at from your experience of so many years in the education?
Okay, I would say there are more positives today than the negatives. Positives, okay, the cadet who is going on board for the first time, probably as I told you earlier, he or she is aware of what they are going to do on board, whatever job. They are mentally prepared for that. And because of the technology being there, you could see the ship, you could see the ship's manuals if required. Depends on their own interest also. It's not that every cadet is going to do that. They're going to say that, okay, maybe once I go on board, I'm going to learn. But then that's one advantage part of it from the point of the learning.
Yeah.
And from disadvantage part of it, yes, sometime knowing too much also with the social media being there, the cadets generally, that's a feedback I would say. I have not been saying right now, but then the feedbacks which I get from my chief engineers, masters and other people who are doing the courses, it's saying that cadets, the attitude is one thing which probably needs to be improved because everybody has a social media today in hand, and then they say that, okay, if my second engineer, chief engineer or a master mate slightly even speaks to them a bit harsh, then it could be called as a harassment, and then they'll try to post to the company. So that's the other side of the coin, which I would say. But then those who are serious enough and those who have determined that, yes, they want to be at sea, and they have determined that, sea is not easy. They have to be in a rough weather. They have to be in a harsh life. And the future is going to be better. Then for them, I think there are no complaints. They would survive anywhere.
Right, sir. That's wonderfully put. I think those are the drawbacks also of too much information, like you rightly put across, sir. So, right now, there are so many courses out there for maritime. As per you, sir, for a general student of 12th class, if he aspires to join, what are some of the best courses right now which you recommend, which you should pursue if you're really serious in getting into sailing?
Okay, so the options right now are the nautical and engineering, two streams are there. Most nautical, again, you have the two streams, whether it's a DNS and BSc. Depends on company to company. Basically, every company has a different norms. The course of a DNS is having just 12 months of a course, and then you go to sea for 18 months, as compared to what a BSc Nautical Science will do. So both has plus and minus, but then I would say that if you get a sponsorship from the company, then it's the best is to go for a DNS course. If you write an CET and then a company sponsors you, then better to choose a DNS course. If not, BSc is also fine, because BSc again, you learn a lot till what you would require for second mates. You're well prepared. When you go, you'll be able to apply that practically when you go on board. And for the engineering side, if you talk on, you have both the 4-year those who are doing the marine engineering directly, or this 1-year GME program which they have. Both are fine, but then the question of this 4-year BTech, right now, it's losing the complete interest of most of the students, because one is, they say that 4 years have to study, number one. And number two, also the syllabus is a bit heavy. As on date, practically the syllabus is heavy. There were few years back, even the job prospects for a 4-year managing was lesser as compared to what it is now. Today, I think after the COVID, I think any course and any job, I think is doing fantastically well. The GME and of course the ETO. ETO is also come, which is very fast after your electrical electronic you do. The fastest, if a person wants to do a shortest course, is the ETO, and that's selling as a hot cake today. Every 4 months, I think people come. But then again, the career growth, people as on India today, where the career growth, the ETO remains an ETO, which some countries have just started forming a alternate route where you could directly get into the engineering part of it.
Okay, so you can transition into
engineering. That's theoretical you could do that. So that's just coming in, and then I'm sure India is not going to be too far off it, and we'll have some means of having that as well. So that will be the fastest route to get into.
Thank you, sir. The biggest problems which I hear from people is the GP rating, sir. So that is something where people get scammed. There's a lot of agents which take away money. Do you have anything to say about, for the students who are aspiring for GP ratings because they don't have PCM?
So GP rating, okay, it's again certainly if it's a fastest course, if a person wants to do after 10, but then any person would certainly like to do an officer course. A GP rating course, various reasons, maybe the person has just 10th, or he has not scored well in 12th, or 60% doesn't get, he or she, then the only option left is the GP rating. So they go there. And as you rightly said, I think the number of GP ratings which are getting trained are very large today, over 5,000 per annum. And of which the job prospects, there are many agents who certainly give promises and they take across. So I would say that only if a person is good, I think a person prepares well. There are companies, very good companies who are wanting the GP ratings. Even yesterday, one company just picked up few GP ratings from us. But then I'll not say that the demand in India for a GP rating directly through the company, the job prospects are not much. Because most of the companies also prepare a rating from Philippines, an officer from India. That's a ratio which they do across. So again, because of unions being in India, and they also have to push across their people. So these are some challenges which are there. But okay, you could take some good institutes who always have demand. The companies come to them, or okay, I'll not say like other courses, the companies come for the campus interview.
Right.
But GP rating, because the market is flooded, the companies do invite them to the company. There we have very good companies, Synergy, MOL.
Right.
They invite them, and then they have the entrance exam, and then they do take the boys. and the girls. In fact, girls have just started coming in as a rating also. There are just entered. Though we do not have any girl rating, we do have in every other category, BSc, BTech, everything we have. But ratings, we have still yet to have any girl ratings.
So talking about the women seafarers now, it's a good thing which has come up also. They're trying to get I think, a good ratio of women on the seafaring platform. So how is your what's your take on it? How is HIMT perhaps trying to?
Yeah, we started the girl cadets just last year. We are just 1 year. We had about 10-11 girls last year, and this time we have increased to double the number of girls. Is 25 we have. So the numbers will keep increasing, and certainly it's a profession which today girls are there in every field. So why not in shipping? And shipping, when we are talking future, where you're talking of autonomous ships and everything, okay, it's not going to be that a person is going to keep sailing. Even in our category also, people sail for 10 years, 12 years, 15 years, 20 years. But okay, now girls entering, I think they also committed. They also climb up the ladder fast.
Right.
And of course, opportunities ashore also. There are few women who have made a mark in ashore also.
Right.
People joining the class, people joining shipping company superintendents. It is.
So, sir, I had this Instagram question session today. I asked that Dr. Sanjeev is coming on the show. What all you would like to ask? So there was heavy questions that some of them were like, so the past academics, the present academics, and the future academics, and you being inside the shipping maritime education, what all are the skills right now which a cadet should learn apart from the education of marine, which are going to be helpful? Like suppose tech is coming in so fast, is shipping evolving to the same level as what we are thinking as?
Okay.
Yes.
A good question. And I happen to just complete my research. I just got my PhD in Maritime Education training of the past, the present, and the future of autonomous ships. So that's what my title was, and I worked 5 years on this particular thing. So to what I know and what I've read, I've gone through various research papers, and I've just seen that, okay, the future, okay, since you asked me, I'll go directly to the answer of the future. And the answer for this future, because I'm not Nostradamus to predict the future, but at the same time, the reviews and research, what I have done, I've got seafarers, I've got shipping companies, the managers, the administration, various administrations, universities, and the actual seafarers, the greatest stakeholders. So everybody's input, I've done some research, and I've found that, okay, one is technology. Okay, in technology, there are various skills which we have been talking on for the future, right from basic AI to blockchain. We have various things which we need to cybersecurity. We have AR, VR, mixed reality, 3D printers, all digital twin. So these are a few technologies which are coming across. And of course, everything is, the backbone is AI. So AI is everywhere today. So that's one thing which I think anybody and everybody, I'll not say only for shipping, but I think any person ashore also is into it today. Everybody's a ChatGPT, that's also AI based. So I think people are into it. But over and above that, today the stress level, I would say, because of the technology, because of your mobile phones and WhatsApp and other social media, people, depression levels have increased. It's faster today. So mental health is one more thing which is in a bigger way. It is very important because today you know what's happening ashore, at home, on day-to-day basis. And when you're away from family, earlier, okay, chitti aayegi, we'll wait for 1 month, 2 months for the port, and then we'll know what happened actually. But now it's not the case. Minute to minute we get to net. So even a smallest issue at home a person has, it affects his mental mind. So again, this is something which is coming in a big way, where every shipping company, every administration is starting on training the people right from the college days. Okay, we have various societies like ISWAN and Sailor Society and everything. We train them right at the institute itself. We start giving them wellness at sea programs. We do them, and they should take it forward. So, so technology is one side, and mental health is other side, which are the two important things, in addition to other normal teamwork and other things which automatically is there everywhere.
Right, sir. So, like for AIs particularly, are there any places where students or cadets can go now to learn, or is like everything is online? It's like courses or something for shipping?
Yeah, that's a good question again. Since it is not officially today mandatory, now even IMO is working on SCW. Next SCW is just on the way. 27, 28, we are going to have a big revision wherein lots of things would be coming across. Lots of papers from India also have been submitted to IMO, and other countries as well have been submitting across. So it is still in the nascent stage wherein there is no mandatory course. And when nothing is mandatory, then people would not like to do. They are happy with what is already the courses are so many. So let it become mandatory at that given time, we'll take it up. But then people who have interest, there are various courses. You want to do the course from any of the universities from US or UK or any foreign university, you can do it across online. There are 3 months, 6 months programs where a person could do it across. But obviously for shipping, it has just been getting included in the syllabus of the Pre-C as well. As a small micro subject, it's been included. And students can take it across. But at the post-C level, it is still the syllabus committees will have to work it across and bring it to right from the engineering examinations to the nautical examinations. They have to bring it.
Okay. Right, sir. The favorite question which everybody keeps asking, is my job going to be taken away by this AI thing? What are your insights on this?
I have done, as I told, research. In that research, I have taken across, people say that I ask a simple question, is technology destroying jobs? No, it is only shifting the jobs. In 1980s, when computers came, people in the banking sector thought, or in many other sectors, they thought that, okay, jobs will go. But the number of jobs in that industry today have increased. Same thing in the automobile industry, there has been researches done, and it's only increased. So in shipping as well, okay, if you talk of 1970 to 2024 today, the number of people on board, which were 50 plus,
yes,
has reduced down to 20, less than 20. Yes, so that is going to happen. Okay, every company that is going to happen technology-wise, I would not say that it's not going to reduce. It will further reduce for sure. But that same opportunity, if it's today 20, it go to 15, 10, we would be reaching that stage in a decade or so, decade or more.
Yep.
But then at the same time, same opportunities are going to be shifted ashore. Today, if you're talking about an autonomous ship, ultimately the person is going to be sitting ashore. And it's not an IT person. The companies are not going to recruit an IT person who would just control a ship. They would certainly like to have a chief rear master or a seafaring background, a nautical officer or a engineering officer who at least has been to sea, and then they know whatever thermodynamics, French metals, fluid mechanics, etc., what has been taught for 3 years, 4 years, and experience at sea, that cannot be taken off. So I'm sure that those type of jobs will be shifted ashore, and people will have to be positive to see that, okay, they are going to be happy, they'll be with family, and they'll be still working.
Talking about shore, sir, how did you decide to come ashore and start HIMT?
Yeah, this is something which, again, it's a long story. So, to cut it short, okay, I happened to join again, as that time Bombay was the place where all the shipping companies were. So I had to complete my leave, and then I had to go back to the company to join the vessel. The company told me now there is something in 1998.
Yeah.
So July 1998, and then company told that you need to go and do this course called PSSR. I was searching, there were hardly less than about 3-4 institutes totally in Bombay who are doing it. And then I happened to go and do in one of the institutes this particular course. I saw videos, and then finally the videos which probably we see at sea, and then 3 days it was only videos and nothing more. So I thought that why are seafarers getting harassed? Just to watch these videos, we need to again not join sea. So I wanted to go to DD Shipping to just check why are seafaring getting harassed for watching these videos. And when I happened to knock the door of DD Shipping at that given time, I had a Director General, DDG, who happened to tell that, okay, if that be the case, okay, we understand this is something new, STCW is revising, and then this course are mandatory at international level. So he told me, why not you then, you are a chief engineer, why don't you start at Chennai? There is nobody, the industry requires institutes to be there, and there are hardly any institutes, why don't you start? So I thought, okay, is it so? Then okay, I thought, okay, let me come to Chennai, and then I spoke to my wife. My parents said no, everybody told no, but my wife told no, let's take it up. So probably it came as a chance, and then took up a small little property on rental, and then wife was the only person who told we'll run it, and rest all told me, no, we are losing a great job, earning so much, and then you're coming ashore and doing some trial.
Yeah.
And it could fail. So then I thought, okay, if it fails, I'll go back to sea. I have my license. That's good of a seafarer. Always you keep your license live. And that's how we just thought, and set up with 3 courses. I set up HIMT in 1998 September. Just 26 years we'll be reaching now. So
26 is a lot, sir.
yeah, it's
Yes.
thanks.
Great work, sir. I mean, how did you manage to scale it up till this particular position, sir? Any tips for young entrepreneurs, suppose, thinking of, we all have that aspiration that I want to do it myself, something,
Yeah.
some other skills.
Yeah. So the only thing is, I would say the only greatest strength has been, as I told my family, and I would say the seafarers themselves. When I set up this, the first week itself, when the batch was completed, I want to take a feedback. And as I told, I had 2 rooms and then 1 small room for my admin and me to sit, less than about 150 square feet. And I used to invite every student after completion to take a feedback as to how you found. And everybody were probably appreciating that, okay, we have been doing in few of the government institutes and how they treat and what you would give a treatment. So that's how the motivation started from there. So 98 it started, and every month then we thought, okay, the seafarers who came, they told, why did you start this course? I started with 3 courses. Start this course, start tanker course, start chemical tanker, start gas tanker, everything. So every month, one new course we started. And by God's grace, 2001, 2002, at that given time, we became the largest. In terms of the post-sea training, at that given time, we had about 23 to 27 courses we became. So I would say that it's just encouragement and motivation from the seafarers who have always encouraged us to continue that good work, and of course God's grace and the support from family.
Wonderful, sir. Because I was also wondering one day when I came to the institute, from one small rental to having, I think, how many? 4 places?
5.
5 institutes. How does one man reach such a position? Like you said, family support and the continuous feedbacks from seafarers. Your personal, sir, any personal trait which you think could inspire people, it could be like discipline or some kind of thing which you always followed, some rule?
One thing is, okay, discipline. Okay, that's one thing which, as we started, the one thing which I didn't want to compromise is attendance. That was one thing which we started, and the day one when we started, okay, for doing that, even if I was a student, I have done courses, and always I felt, okay, the faculty is teaching across, so what is it teaching? Ultimately, rather I can read through my home, why should I come to the institute and do? But then I was selective on the faculty, and I always used to tell that the seafarer is coming here to do a course, give him or her the value for time, money, energy. So that was one thing, and that's the reason the technology, is there today. The CCTVs in 2002, which I think I installed, I was technology in 2002, and I used to start monitoring from that given time. And till date, I do the same. And I would say that, as you told, 5 institutes are there, but the 5 institutes are just in my pocket. So I have more than 400 cameras where I have. But I'm not doing a security job, but at the same time, I'm ensuring that people are, neither student is kept free without a faculty having to come. So the faculty should be on time. You would have experienced that we are one of the rare institutes who start too early. Many of the people who come from north say, sir, the HIMT is only institute, itna jaldi jaga dete ho. But then we say, okay, we start early, and then timekeeping is one thing which we keep across, and then people enjoy it because the faculty also whom we have, they also understand the value for the time and what they have to teach the students.
I can endorse that, sir, because one of the greatest course I have done was the MCA course, and I have learned more in that than any other courses. Like, it is of course for our personal health also, but yes, talking about that, I personally, like I said at that time also, I gave you the same feedback. But like for the people, yeah, that's the level of quality was kept, and the timings also absolutely on point. Wonderful, sir. So, sir, you also told me about something known as the AR VR, which I think you are developing. What is that, sir? What's happening there?
Yeah. Okay. Again, technology is coming up, and I didn't have much knowledge, but it helped. COVID helped me for every individual learned more on technology. And my son, elder son, and younger one both have completed from WMU, their masters in MET. And during COVID, when the whole world was sleeping and the whole world was disconnected, I think only seafarers, you all who were the real heroes, were sailing. But at that given time, training was one thing which was also stopped for some time. But India was one of the first countries to certainly start it back. And since my son had just come back from WMU, they had LMS systems, they had Zoom, they had other things. So that was a technology which probably he brought in. Today it's in every person's mobile, you have that app. So we started doing the training, and when DD Shipping closed the courses on 15th of March, 31st of March, Shri Amitabh Kumar, Director General, inaugurated the first online course, which was a value course at HIMT. He came online and he did it across. And then they also thought of it, let's have the DD Shipping approved courses done in online. And subsequently, the month of May, June, I think India opened up the online training. So that was online. But then now getting into AR, VR, and that's the time my elder son told he also got further fascinated towards technology. So he wanted to do some more thing on technology. So he went to Colombia for doing a technology management. And from there, he got the idea of AR, VR, etc. And then came back and we set up the AR, VR. We have a new vertical now called KitBit Technologies. And we have, I would say that proudly that we have a good VR setup, the lab, PC campus, where the technology during COVID, as I told, the ship's visit stopped. Even today, the ship visits, due to security reasons, many of the masters or ships, they don't allow the cadets to get into. So we started making 3D modules, and all the 3D modules are made by a team of people who are not only sitting at our office, but we have people from Malaysia, Singapore, and somebody in Hamburg. So that's a team of developers who are there, which KSN manages. And then we also have domain experts, the Masters Seafarers, who are also a faculty. So they sit across for weeks to months together, and then we have developed this models of 3D. And from 3D, we switched over to the VR models. So
VR is
virtual reality. So the virtual reality models where you have the Oculus glasses which you wear across, and then a smallest thing, or suppose a cadet wants to get to a ship, a LNG carrier. So why would a cadet? Anybody who wants to familiarize can do that. Since we have already made the models, which is just not a video, but you could walk through and see every part of a ship, what it is, where it is, whether it's not only LNG, car carrier, tanker. Then we wanted to do 3 types of things. One was the familiarization. Second is the maintenance. So tomorrow, maintaining a purifier, air compressor, that also requires some skills.
Right.
You might not have a big equipment on your institute tomorrow. So probably have that replicated here, and then open up, box up. So that's why maintenance model which we have made.
So it's interactive.
It's interactive. It's completely interactive. You could get into that, just open up, box up, open the nuts, bolts, everything. You could do it across. And the third one is on the safety. The safety angle, lowering a lifeboat, firefighting. So 3 areas we have attacked right now. One is the familiarization, next is the maintenance, and third is the safety. So we have a couple of models, and almost in a chat YouTube channel, you find most of the 3D videos we have put. And of course, as a sample, we also put a VR module also, where if somebody is sitting at home today, he or she can just have an Oculus, because for gaming, people use it. So probably they can use at home and they can click in a website and then they can have the experience of the VR as well. So that was the VR which we started. But then we thought the next was the AR, the augmented reality.
What is that difference? Because I'm also confused.
Okay. Yes. So virtual reality is something where you have the real world where you can get into and you can work on it and that. And in augmented reality, in simple words, you get a world with you completely. Tomorrow, like a simulator is something like a virtual reality.
Right.
But then you get a real, suppose a ship is there. You have a ship in front of you. Basically, you can hold in your hand and you can go to any part of it. So augmented reality is you get the whole world towards you. It is there in various other industries as well. So that's a major difference between virtual reality and augmented. And now there's something called mixed reality, where you use both augmented and virtual. You use it across, and technology is such that sitting ashore, you can also one person sitting ashore can have 3 sister ships, and there's a breakdown, say, or a turbocharger overall or something. A person sitting here can give a guidance to the chief engineer or somebody how to open box up at the same time at 3 different places. He could do it.
So I think is this where the shipping training?
It is. It is going to go ahead there. Yes, because when you're going to have something like digital twin, it's a replica. Earlier we had ship models, but now those models are in a virtual mode. So you'll have a digital twin of it. So person sitting ashore will be able to replicate the same thing, the same problem, and then probably analyze it here and guide the person on board.
This is a very revolutionary thing, which if it works pretty well, then it is really fascinating. So I was coming here, and one of my friends asked me to ask you this exact question. He's an engineer, so he asked me, see, in an institution, purifier is not there, compressor is not there. How do we open and go on board? And then, so I think that is the answer to that question. So I think that's the answer. That's wonderful. So I think
in fact, now we are working on something where we are trying to have the same purifier at the Presi campus. We'll have a student do a purifier opening in real time, and same will replicate it in a AR and a VR, and we'll try to put 2 people and try to find out how much learning has the person who has had with real equipment learnt in comparison to a person who is doing in a virtual or augmented reality. So that's something which is in process.
But I think it's great if whoever is listening to this, they know that this is where, because I think personally the education is lacking throughout India, not in maritime, but I think the entire education system. But this, like you all have included it now already. I think that's the way to go about it. Do you see drawbacks in this?
Yeah, the drawbacks. Every technology has drawbacks as well. See, right now the VR and AR, what we talk, you wear this glasses, Oculus, I think. More than 15-20 minutes, generally, okay, if a person like us who have not been the generation of us where mobiles have come 20 years back, and then the screen time is not as much as we could see. So a person would probably have some headache or something wearing more than 15-20 minutes at a time, at a stretch. But the new generation we have been trying at a Presi campus, people wear for 1 hour. The young generation, they are able to do it. But then this is the greatest disadvantage which would be there.
Nausea can happen, right?
So that's what. So ultimately, every person will have a different effect of it. But then a person who is a seafarer, I would say, when we can go at high seas and we have seasickness or not have seasickness, so we'll overcome on this. I'm sure the technology is there. Who knows? Tomorrow, like Mr. Anand Murthy used to say that, I heard one of his speech where he was to say that, okay, I see the world in future where I put my hand inside the pocket and click a button, and probably I'll see the screen in front of me, and I can do the work. So while walking, so something like that. Probably you might have this AR VR. You might have not to wear, but then you might have some layer screens, which probably this is imagination, but it would. I think anything in the world is through imagination, and it's coming as reality.
So who is your inspiration?
Inspiration, certainly I would say my mother. I think she's been my sole inspiration all these years till she was there. And of course, in terms of the industry, the shipping industry, I would say that all whom I sailed with, I think they all were good. But one gentleman I would like to mention is Mr. P. Mitter, who saluted me and who thought that probably at that given time that I could do something. So
I think he was right.
and that I am still in touch with him, and every given time I think he's in touch with me. He guides me. He's like a mentor.
So how does your day look like? Because you are a busy man. I mean, there are so many things under your hood, so many things you have to do. How do you tackle this? Because all of us face this problem. And coming from you as a CEO, founder, how do you go about your days?
Yeah, for me, the day I think starts quite early. I'm out of my house at 5:45, 6 a.m. every day. And so since you did ask me, I have so many centers, how do I manage? So I go to my first center called Kilpak, which is closer to my home. And then I spend an hour there as the classes start at 7:15. Then I go to the next center, which is the Title Park Center, where you probably did the courses. And spend 1 hour, 2 hours there. And then either if the meetings are there, I spend the whole day there. Otherwise, weekly 2-3 days, I go to my other center, which is Kalpakam, at a farther place, and spend time there. And of course, since we have Vizag, once in a while, I'm not too regular there, but then once in about 15 days a month, I'm there. So it's a long day. It starts in the morning. I'm back home at 7:30, 8 o'clock in the evening, and probably go home. And again, the only hobby I have is to only work. Don't think anything else.
So any message you would like to give the youth? Any note you want to give them? Something?
Name the same policy which everybody says, be honest is one thing which always any parent will give to the child as well. And I would say the same thing is there. And whatever you work, whichever field you get into, work with a dedication. Believe in yourself. And I'm sure every person has a talent within him or her. Like you have proved yourself. You yourself are having so many followers. So age doesn't matter. It's a dedication, commitment. It could be from any generation. It could be at whatever age. So the dedication and sincerity, if a person has, and no shortcuts. I think let's not have shortcuts, because shortcuts will certainly lead to somewhere a person will topple. Rather, I think go on a straightforward path, and that will give the blessings of all. Finally, if there's a growth, every person will do hard work, but then hard work doesn't be sufficient. But along with that, people's positive energy, nobody should curse. Rather, everybody should bless. It could be a younger age person or senior, and that positive energy only makes anybody successful. And that's what I am.
Thank you, sir. You have been a source of information for me personally, and I'm sure a lot of people will look up to you. And thank you for coming here, sir. And in such a short notice, it was an honor to have you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you, Karan. And sure, I think I wish you also good luck. And you are starting something new. That is something which I always admire. Okay, the younger generation, as I'd say, every generation always people say that my generation was the best, the next generation is not good. But then I would say the next generation is always good. So and you all are proving across what we didn't get across. I think you're foresighted, and I think that your next generation will be still better. So believe in the next generation always, and that's how the world moves.
Thank you, Dr.
Thank you. See you. Thank you.
So that was Dr. Sanjeev Vakil for you all. I hope he was able to answer the question of how to join the Merchant Navy in the right way. Do let me know in the comment section which all personalities you would like to see on this show, and I'll try my best to get them here. Otherwise, you know the drill. Like, share and subscribe, because that's how we spread awareness of our maritime fraternity. Thank you.